Now on CoastTV News.
Tanker takedown. Another vessel seized by the U.S. and the Caribbean. What we're learning this morning. Plus, session starts. Now that Maryland's General Assembly has reconvened, what the early priorities are for the new year.
It's back to reality on Delmarva. Temperatures are back in the 30s. Wind chills are in the 20s. I'm tracking wind chills falling as low as the single digits tonight and tracking some light snow over the weekend.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. Today is Thursday, January 15th. I'm Grace Eckerly and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. Starting off this morning, the Ocean City Police Department says one person is in custody following a brief car pursuit that started when officers tried to make a traffic stop for a suspected DUI this morning. The police department says the investigation is still ongoing and we'll keep you updated when we learn more. Next, lawmakers in Maryland went back to work on Wednesday for the start of the 2026 legislative session. According to some state senators and delegates from the Eastern Shore, one main focus is lowering the state's budget deficit that sits around $1.5 billion. Another priority is lowering energy costs. Maryland's legislative session will wrap up on April 13th. And Wednesday was also the start of the legislative session in Virginia. This comes days before Abigail Spanberger is being sworn in as the next governor. State leaders are considering 4 constitutional amendments that focus on abortion rights, same-sex marriage, voting rights, and mid-cycle redistricting. According to Governor-elect Spanberger, one goal is to improve affordability. Spanberger will take office on Saturday. Now taking a live look into Rehoboth Beach this morning. It is sunny. Chris, I can barely see a cloud in the sky, but it's not going to be very warm for long.
Good morning, Grace. Yeah, the sun is shining, but a little deceiving because those temperatures have fallen quite rapidly from where we were at earlier this morning. We're at 35 right now in Salisbury. We hit our highs for the day, in fact, just after midnight. Now, the cold front pushed through early this morning. We're now seeing a temperature of 34, Cambridge 37 in Lewis, and we are at 39 in Ocean City. Winds have picked up. We're seeing gusts anywhere from 23 in Georgetown, 26 in Easton, and we'll see winds anywhere between about 30 to nearly 40 miles an hour throughout the day today, and that's producing some cold wind chills. It feels like 29 in Bethany, 25 in Cambridge. Now the cold front is well offshore. Skies have cleared pretty nicely across the area, and we're going to stay pretty clear and dry for the remainder of the day, but those temperatures are going to hold steady through the afternoon into the evening, but note the wind chill. Look at where the wind chills are by this evening, falling into the teens, and they're going to be falling even lower into Friday morning. We'll talk more about that, plus a threat of some snow over the weekend. I'll have the latest on that in my full forecast.
Thank you, Chris. Delmarva Power launching a customer relief fund expansion after receiving $500,000 from its parent company, Exelon. Company officials say the funding supports customers in Delaware and Maryland. Customers with electric and gas are eligible for $500. This comes after Delmarva Power says it is looking at raising its electric base rates in Delaware. And Delmarva Power, they're going to be busy. They're replacing telephone poles in Laurel. According to the town, this is along Cooper Street from Front Street to Route 24. And along Route 24 beginning on Tuesday, January 20th, the town says the project is expected to last several weeks, and that'll include lane closures on Cooper Street. The town also saying to be aware because temporary power outages are to be expected. And starting today, DelDOT will begin a painting project on the Front Street Bridge in Seaford. You can see the area on your screen now. The agency says work continues through early April, and during this time, Front Street will be closed to drivers. However, pedestrian access across the bridge will remain open, and bridge openings for boats will only happen overnight between the hours of 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Starting Monday, January 19th, a traffic detour will go into place for drivers heading into the Cape May Ferry Terminal. The ferry says drivers will have to use Beach Drive to enter the terminal parking lot, and they will be posting detour signs to direct drivers as needed. Next, not for sale. That's a message that administrators are giving about Greenland. Office officials met on Wednesday at the White House, and they said that they have different opinions from the president about who should control Greenland, but they're open to expanding the U.S. military footprint. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio say President Trump would prefer to buy the massive island territory of Greenland, a proposition that could cost as much as $700 billion, according to 3 people who are familiar with the estimate.
How important it is from our side to strengthen our cooperation with the United States but that doesn't mean that we want to be owned by a United States.
Denmark's Minister of Foreign Affairs says the U.S. appears to remain intent on taking control of Greenland, but hopes that they can reach a compromise that respects territorial integrity of the NATO ally. And new this morning, the U.S. has seized another oil tanker in the Caribbean Sea. This marks the 6th such seizure since December. This tanker, named Veronica, the military has been taking a hard stance on controlling the flow of oil to and from Venezuela. Now stay with us on CoastTV News Midday, because coming up after the break, Chips for Charity, how students at Sussex Academy came together to support a local family during a time of grief. That's next on this week's Coastal Connections.
Blustery conditions are going to be with us for our Thursday under mostly sunny skies. Gets even colder into tomorrow morning. We do stay dry for the next 2 days, but then some unsettled weather arrives over the weekend. Congratulations to Ann Key of Georgetown, Delaware, on winning an umbrella from CoastTV. We'll talk about some snow threats over the weekend. I'll break it down in my latest forecast just minutes away.
The Sussex Academy community came together to support the family of an alum who passed away due to cancer in September 2025. As reporter Elisa Weber shows us, for students, for parents, helping to cover the funeral costs was their way of giving back.
Sussex Academy students coming together to support the family of one of their own. Members of 2 of the school's clubs held a Chips for Charity fundraiser to help cover funeral expenses for the family of 2024 graduate Tanya Garcia Roblero, who tragically passed away in late 2025 from cancer. For Tanya's cousin, it was touching to see students coming together to honor Tanya and support her family.
I'm really happy this is happening so we can still live up her, I guess her name, and keep her name alive, because she loved this school.
During lunchtime, students sold various types of chips and dips. Through their efforts, they were able to raise $2,000 for Tanya's family. For Amy Goodhue, a parent of Sussex Academy students, jumping in to help Tanya's family felt like the right thing to do.
It's every parent's nightmare to go through something like that, and I just wanted to, when something like that happens, I feel like every family needs to just jump in and see how we can help and bond together.
And for Tanya's friends who have so many memories with her here at school, they knew she was looking down with so much joy.
She was the most beautiful soul. She was my best friend, and seeing this happen, it makes me emotional because I wish she was here to see this.
Even in loss, unity and compassion can create something truly unforgettable. For Coastal Connections, I'm Elisa Weber.
Well, if we were out early this morning, it felt pretty good. Temperatures were in the mid to upper 40s, but the cold front has pushed through, and yes, we're back to reality here on Delmarva as this area of low pressure kicks up to the northeast. The cold front now well offshore. That cold air continues to funnel in from the Midwest. You can see these temperatures. Look at these temperatures: 11 in Detroit, 16 in Chicago, and this is the air that we're going to be tapping into here over the next few days. We've got bright blue skies out there, so it looks really nice. 35 right now in Cambridge with those winds out of the northwest at about 12 miles an hour. We're at 34 Harrington, 36 in Georgetown, 37 in Rehoboth, and 37 in Ocean City. The winds have really picked up here through the morning. We're gusting to 37 in Salisbury, 26 in Georgetown, and that's producing those cold wind chills. It feels like 26 in Georgetown, 25 in Salisbury, and it feels like 28 in Rehoboth. Now, we still have gale warnings up. Those are up over the bay as well as the Atlantic from Lewis all the way down through Chickateague and the Delaware Bay, and those run through Friday morning. So yes, we're back to reality here on the peninsula, feeling like the 20s. By tomorrow morning, it's going to feel like the single digits to lower teens across the peninsula, and we are tracking the threat of some potential light snow as we go into Sunday afternoon through Sunday night. So we take the plunge here as far as the temperatures go. In fact, we're going to hold pretty steady here over the next few hours, and then look at overnight, feeling like 13 by midnight. Temperatures are going to be falling through the evening into the teens and 20s into early Friday, but we stay rather clear and dry through Friday as well. And then the wind chills will moderate a bit as we go into the day tomorrow. You see those wind chills by early tomorrow morning feeling like 12 in Georgetown. By daybreak tomorrow, it's feeling like 10 in Milton, 12 Ocean City, 10 in Dewey Beach, and then we'll see more of a southwest wind kick in late in the day. So we stay dry and clear through Friday. Now, as we go into Saturday morning, we start the day dry, but late in the morning, we'll have an impulse of energy move over the area. Could see a little light rain and even a light snow northern portions of the peninsula. Not going to amount to all that much. Most of the day is dry. In fact, we're going to be back into the mid 40s. Then we watch this area of low pressure pass to our southeast. How far northwest does it get remains to be seen, but a period of light snow is likely. It looks like Sunday, late Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. Best chance to see about an inch of snow would be probably from Ocean City on southward. That's the way it looks right now, but we could see a shift in that potential snow as we go into the day tomorrow and through the start of the weekend. 36, mostly sunny skies. We're at 21. Very cold start to our Friday at 37 degrees. And then we're watching for that potential light snow late Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. We dry things out for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, 35, and then we struggle to get out of the 20s as we go into Tuesday and staying pretty sunny and dry, but very cold into early next week. Grace.
Oh, sounds chilly, Chris. Coming up tonight on DSN at 6, it's live NCAA women's basketball when Maryland Eastern Shore takes on Copen State. Then catch the final score at 10:30 p.m. You can watch the Lady Hawks on DSN Plus along with these exclusives at 4 p.m. Queen Anne's visits Kent Island in girls basketball, and William Penn faces DeCastle. Then we have a couple of boys basketball games at 5:30 p.m. Y-High hosts Bennett at 5:45. Sussex Academy travels to Delmarva. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday here along coastal Delmarva. And if you join us today at 4 o'clock on Coast Life, here's what's coming at you. We've got another Spill the Tea, a little bit of drama while we sip a warm, nice drink. We're talking FaceTime phone calls. When does it get to be too much? When is it okay to not pick up? We will get into all of that. Also this weekend, Martin Luther King Day weekend. If you're looking for some incredible ways to celebrate his mission and ways to give back to the community, we're going to be talking about Dreamfest. All of that and so much more is coming your way today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
A long-standing tradition of opening meetings with prayer in Wicomico County is coming to an end. The Lord's Prayer has accompanied the Pledge of Allegiance for years, but a council member reading Bible verses during a legislative meeting in September attracted the attention of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. After multiple threats of legal action from the organization, Council President John Cannon says he made the difficult decision to discontinue the prayer tradition.
I chose not to do the Lord's Prayer just so that we could avoid any threats of litigation from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. And at that point in time, it caused an uproar from the community, and I understand. I think the greatest mistake on my part was not explaining all this to the public prior to doing the, eliminating the Lord's Prayer that one evening. So we've already sent out a press release to that effect so that the public understands what is behind it and what we're up against right now.
Council President Cannon says they are considering multiple alternatives to the Lord's Prayer for future opening proceedings of the meetings. One option being a moment of silence for personal prayer. Coming up next on CoastTV News Midday, pony passes away. What the Chincoteague Fire Company says are the next steps to lay the animal to rest. Delaware State Parks marking its 75th anniversary with a day of service on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 19th. Participating parks across the state include cleanup and restoration projects at Trapp Pond State Park. State park officials say that the effort honors Dr. King's call for service while supporting the long-term health of Delaware's public lands. And for more information on other volunteer opportunities that exist at more state parks across Delaware on Monday, you can head to the article that's on our website now, coasttv.com. And happening today, the MLK Weekend Dreamfest kicking off in Ocean City. The event brings families together for 3 days of music, arts, and entertainment to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy. The first day starts with a performance from the Pointer Sisters at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center at 7 p.m. Dreamfest 2026 will run through January 17th in Ocean City. And some sad news now. Chincoteague mourning the loss of one of its ponies. The volunteer fire company says the pony, nicknamed Goldie, passed away after she got stuck in a burrow ditch. The fire company says Goldie became trapped in deep mud sometime between Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. The Saltwater Cowboys say that they are now working to remove Goldie from the ditch and find her a better final resting place.
Well, the 50s are behind us, and, well, the cold, blustery conditions are here. 36 degrees in Dover. We're seeing plenty of sunshine, but those winds are going to make it feel like the low to mid-20s through the afternoon. You get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert Weather phone, sponsored by Broxton and Dallas Federico. Your 10-day forecast is up next. Well, we're doing pretty good out there as far as the sunshine is concerned, but we've seen quite a drop in temperature. We were in the mid-40s just a few hours ago. We're now down to 35 in Laurel. We're going to see plenty of sunshine through the afternoon, but temperatures are going to hold steady here through the early part of the afternoon and then slowly drop. But the thing is, the winds are going to continue to howl 30, 35 miles an hour. And look at those wind chills diving into the teens, lower teens, and eventually some areas I think are going to bottom out in the single digits by the time we get to Friday morning. Then we focus our attention on that snow threat through the weekend. Now, most of the energy looks to stay offshore, but I think we'll get grazed by a little light period of snow Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. So we'll continue to fine-tune the forecast here over the next few days. But if this system shifts a little bit further to the west, we get a bit heavier precip. If it shifts further to the east, we get barely anything. And then we're looking at pretty cold conditions as we go into the early part of next week. 35 for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Mostly sunny skies, dry next week, but very cold. Look at those overnight lows in the teens. And then we'll finally see temperatures begin to moderate by the end of next week. Grace.
Well, Chris, we asked for winter, and here you go. Freezing cold temperatures and snow. What more could you want? Well, thank you for that, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Midday. If you like more local news or local weather ahead of this winter, you can download our Coast TV News app, and don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5. That's later this afternoon. Until then, have a great Thursday.